everybody, this is Brian. Welcome to Chiller Night Live, where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9 o'clock, we'll sit and chat about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal. You pick the topic, we'll make a show out of it. However, tonight, we have a pre-selected topic. That topic is the man, the myth, the monster himself, Jack Shadow. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, how that character came to be, and I see, Ava, you put something on there, but this is weird because like last week on Restream, the emojis are not showing up. So I just see that your name is on there right now, but give it a moment and I'm sure it'll pop up. So Renee says, July 25th, 2024 at 2:55 p.m. an invisible translucent extraterrestrial alien. Oh, Ava sent me some hearts. All right, right back at you, baby. They just now popped up. That's weird. They were doing that last week too. Alien UFO rectangle appears at Mission Street and 3rd Street. My 8th whole lifetime sighting encounters incident. Mind-bending. I am mystified. I bet so. That would be a life-changing experience. I certainly would. Renee, thank you for joining us. We've missed you. We've been missing you. So we're glad you're back. You're right. Yo, sup? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. That's from Stephanie. Stephanie, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Brian says, hello, everyone. Hey, Brian. Thanks for joining us. Busy moving today. First day. Oh, you're moving, are you? Ah, what a pain that is. Ava says, I posted hearts. Yeah, I saw them. Yeah, that is weird. It's doing what it was doing last week. Remember last week where, like, was it PBR who came on here, or SBC? No, it was PBR. Came on and he put some emojis on there. I didn't see anything. I just saw his name. And then maybe like 30 seconds into it, I see the emojis. It's weird. I don't know what. PBR, he did it. He's on there again. But I won't see his emoji. Oh, there. Okay, I got the waves. All right, right back at you, PBR. Thanks for joining us. Rocky78 says, hello, good seeing you again on YouTube. Hey, thanks for joining us, Rocky78. Good to see you on here with us. Paul says, hey there, how is my chiller family doing? Love you. Ava, how is your hand? Ava had quite an ordeal this last week. She did with that. I mean, she's home today. We're thankful for that. I don't know if you want to disclose, but she had some complications there with her where her surgery had taken place. So she spent several days in the hospital. So we're glad she's back today. Dee says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dee. Thanks for joining us." John says, and it's time. The time is here, and it's time again for Chiller Night Live. I saw Jack down there in the second row. This is Crozak the Grand, and here's our host, the man behind Jack. Oh, the shadow of Jack. Here's Bryan Hogue. Thank you, John, once again for your stellar intros. Always entertaining and appreciated. Ava says, yeah, go ahead. All right, so Ava had an accident at her workplace where she hit her finger with a cam, a big piece of metal. It went and severed the tendon on her left hand on the ring finger. And so she had to go have surgery and have that reattached. Well, all was okay, or so we thought, up until a short while ago. Then it got infected, and the finger turned like purple, and it was just in a really bad shape. Well, she went to an appointment on Friday, and they said, "Oh no, we're admitting you. You've got a bad infection, so we're gonna run antibiotics throughout the whole weekend." So they did that. Now she's home, and she's got to go 3 more weeks with antibiotics. So just such a pain for her. But I'm very glad she's home tonight. So John Wayne says, hello, everyone. Hey, SBC, how you doing? Or John Wayne. Renee says, my nephew's 36th birthday passed away, and we buried him and my dad on his birthday. Oh my gosh, 7/25. 6 years ago, death anniversary. So I had a lot on my plate. The one time that I did pass by live. You canceled that week. Oh no! Well, that's sometimes that happens where I have to cancel a show. Unfortunately, all the other things that come up. But that is very. I'm sorry to hear about that. Paul says, "I'll get Dr. Manos to fix your hand." Doctor, will he do it? He couldn't even fix his own hand, could he? I thought you said last week he did something. He twisted his hand off. We don't need that kind of doctoring around here. No, thank you. Renee's 36th birthday. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad on his birthday, too. Stephanie said, sending hugs to both Renee and Ava. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. That's very nice. Renee says, I was going to move my first stuff today, but the property manager called me late, so I'll start moving tomorrow after I have a meeting with help and help with an approved first deposit and 2 months rent for free. Ah, that's probably best. John Wayne says, my grandma had surgery on her hand, which went wrong. Constant pain and can no longer use her hand. Oh, no. Well, let's hope Ava's goes much better than that, but I'm sorry to hear about your grandma. Hey, birthdays. Where is it? Boom. Somebody has a birthday today, and that is, even if she's not watching, David and Diana are used to be regular viewers until we moved to Tuesday night. We screwed that up for a few of our viewers, like Clam Fangs and David and Diana. However, today is, I saw this on Facebook, so happy birthday, Diana, or you may know her as Cassandra Blue on Facebook, so I want to wish her a happy birthday. Maybe she'll get a chance to see this after the fact, but want to wish her a happy birthday. Anybody else's birthday? Have I missed anyone? Don't be shy. We'll throw you in there as well. But happy birthday, Diana. I hope you have a great, great day. Jason says, good evening. I love Jack's mask. I hope Ava makes a speedy recovery. Thank you. We hope so too, Jason. Thanks for joining us. Paul says, that was Torgo's hand. Renee, we are still... Oh, Torgo. Okay. I didn't know he had the hands of fate. I don't know if something happened to his hand. I don't know. The fate of Manos' hand. Renee, we are still waiting to get Dad buried at National Cemetery. Oh, that must be a pretty lengthy process then. Wow. Daniel says, sup, Brian? Gemma just had her birthday on Saturday. Well, happy belated birthday to you, Gemma. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. I hope she did something fun, got to really enjoy it, and hope you had lots of cake and ice cream. So, let's see. I'm just wishing Cassandra, Diana, a happy birthday. All right. So, I want to start the show out by saying, first of all, thank you everybody for joining me and each other. And Rocky says, how you have more shows on YouTube, Facebook, don't go on there a lot. What show's coming up? Well, right now, Rocky, this is it. Just the Chiller Night Lives are the current show that's going on right now. Because of my store, and I'll mention that a little bit later on in the show, Chiller Night is what it's now called, officially called. Chiller Night is at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, Pennsylvania. Because of the work I've been doing on that for the last 2 years, I haven't had any current Chiller Night theaters. In fact, we retired Jack Shadow 2 Octobers ago. Will he be back? I would like to think so, but I just couldn't keep up with the shows or Chiller Chats. So this is the one show I can keep afloat to keep alive the spirit of Jack Shadow and the Chillers until every Halloween when we have the or Halloween season when we have the haunted house in October. Jack Shadow's House of Terror. I'll mention that as well. So, but watch Chiller Night Theater every Saturday night. It's on every Saturday night on Stream TV. You can see that at streammedia.tv. streammedia.tv. That's every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and they play 4 episodes. They have 4 movies back to back. So if you like Jack Shadow, if you like Chiller Night Theater, if you like watching the classic and not so classic movies of yesteryear, tune in to Chiller Night Theater. And also, this is a newer one who plays our show, and that's New York 48, WWON-TV. And I put that link, this week I put that link, and actually Stream TV's, in the description. So there you go. There you go. Check out Stream TV and New York 48 WWON. And that one comes on, I like to say Saturdays at midnight, but technically it's Saturdays at 11:58. So check it out. I hope you get a chance to. But also, yes, of course, the shows are, most of them are on YouTube. Not all of them, but a wide selection is available on YouTube. So Daniel says, we took her, being Gemma, Gemma and the rest of the kids to Erie Beach and Chuck E. Cheese. Ah, all right. Well, that sounds fun. John Wayne says, speaking of birthdays, we should find out which day Manos premiered to celebrate that day. It's Manos Day. Sure, why not? Pat Savan says, hey, Patty, thanks for joining us. Paul, explain something to me, please. Just watched Manos 3 days ago, and I am confused by something. The master said the child had to die, even killed one of his wives for arguing with him about it. Was that the original one or the newer one? And I will be honest, yes, I did host that, standing in for Jack Shadow that day. Jack Shadow, oh, there he is. I know I hosted that one, but I don't remember the movie. I hate to say it. Paul, I know that's got to be sacrilege to you, but I don't remember it. It was probably I'm going to take it that was probably the original. We are grateful that you have kept the show alive, Jason says. Ah, thank you, Jason. Patty says, but at the end, she had been added to his collection of wives. Why the change? Was he a secret pedophile? What? now I really don't remember the movie. Holy moly. Chris Hartle says, Brian, where's your haunted house? That is at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, Pennsylvania. If you go into the Cranberry Mall, you'll see this store right here in the food court area, what's left of the food court. Holy moly, we're losing stores in there. I don't like it. It's becoming a ghost town. Maybe that is the perfect setting, however, for Chiller Night. I don't know. But anyways, inside we have Jack Shadow's House of Terror. And we will have a new poster. Actually, I've seen the workings of the new poster, looking pretty cool. And in Jack Shadow's House of Terror, you'll see all kinds of ghosts and ghouls and all kinds of terrifying things in the House of Terror. So that's where we're at. Where the heck am I at, though? Here I am. Okay, I'm back. Took a little walkabout. Let's see. Paul says, if I'm correct, the master was referring to himself. That's how I took it. Wow. Renee says, but I took now off and here for the live show. TV, appreciate it all. Godspeed recovery, Paul, SBC, John Wayne, PBR, Street Gang, Planet, and a slew, an onslaught, I say, of emojis after that. Renee leaves. There's aliens and ghosts and all kinds of stuff there. Stephanie says, I love it when Jack ordered pizza. It was funny. Ow! You know, I actually have, you know what? I have a skit that I'll play here tonight. It's not of that. I know which one you're talking about. There is that one, and then this one was, he had already ordered the pizza and he was getting it. So, but it's on one of the earlier shows. It's before we collaborated with Stream TV, and you can tell because the set is nothing like the nice, you know, creepy set that we were able to get set up on Stream TV. But I will play that at some point. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, Renee says, to Clash of the Titans, Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Oh, the Ray Harryhausen episode we had a few weeks ago. talking about Manos' return on Tubi, Bryan. Oh, that's the one you're talking about. So you're okay. You are talking about the second one. Brett Peterson's come visit everyone. Yes, come visit. We will have that open every wow, hey, even before the haunted house. Come on out. Come on visit Chiller Night, and you can go through the witching hour escape room, or you can try to. I'll throw that challenge out there, by golly. You can book it 814-209-8214, or you can book online at chillernight.com. That's a 1-hour escape room, and the same applies for a zombie outbreak. Same thing, 1 hour. And do you have what it takes? Well, give it a try and see. So, let's see. The original Manos Hands of Fate is on YouTube. Patty says, oh, she was talking about the original one. I see. Yeah, I don't remember. Just don't remember. I'm sorry. Paul says, Bryan, if Manos can come back, so can Dr. Jack. That is true. That is true. Jason says, I like the snake people skit with Aura. Yeah, that was funny. All right, so Renee says 6.2 million, 0.20 million miles to Earth. Jason and the Argonauts. 7th voyage of Sinbad. Oh yeah, lots of good ones. Paul says, Ava for Loco will help with your hand. Love you, sister. Jason says, I also like the skit where Jack accidentally kills Aura's pet bat. Yeah, the bat. Right. That was funny. Yeah, we had a good time. I'll start showing some of these pictures here. Let's see. What do we got first? Oh, that is a picture of when Jack Shadow, back when he first started, not first started, that's actually the second year in 2007. But I will say that Jack was a little bit more of a creepy character, more creepy than comedic. And then later on, that started to change the next year when I started hosting. The show was originally called Sleepy Hollow Theater, and then we changed it in 2015 to Chiller Night Theater as a homage to Chilly Billy. Actually, that right there, when Chilly Billy was on the show. So that's the night we changed the name to Chiller Night Theater. So that's actually in his house. We were doing the interview right there in his house, so that was pretty cool. Really nice guy. What do we got here? Oh, that's the year that I met Ava. The year that Jack met Aura the Witch. So that was pretty cool because Ava was the witch in the Dark Domain haunted house, what it was called at that time. And Ava is actually, I'm sure you all know this, I've mentioned it many times, but Ava is a direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse, who was actually put to death in Salem, Massachusetts back in 1692 for the crime of being a witch. Of course she wasn't, but unfortunately she, along with others, were needlessly put to death for that. But that is a pretty neat fact about Ava. There's Aura the Witch and Jack Shadow right there. By golly, what else we got here? There's some pictures of us on set at Stream TV back when we were located down there, which wasn't all that long ago. And there's some more pictures of the set. You can see the green screen behind the one picture, behind the one window. The other window we actually had. Do I have a better picture of it here? Maybe not. But the other window, there was a blue light. You can see it shining on the night. And that's where, when you see Jack's shadow sitting there, when you see the full moon, that is the moonlight actually hitting on the night. So that's kind of cool. Chilly Billy again. And there is the cast of Chiller Night Theater, Jack and Aura and Elvon Knott. And there we are in our mortal forms, without all the makeup and the masks and all that. So, and speaking of masks, let me put this on here real quick. There's actually the sculpture that I did with, I made a life cast of my face, an exact life cast of my face. I sculpted the mask on there, and then I made an appliance, a foam latex appliance, and that's how. And then we paint it up, and that's how that's done. It's a lot more to it than that, but that gives you the quick condensed version of it. Ava sent me a heart right back at you, baby. PBR, can you show where Jack ordered pizza? I've never seen it. Let me try to see if I can do that. I've got a skit on here loaded up right now. Let me. Do I? I think I do. What? Maybe I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Let me play this one and then see. I'll play this one first because I might not be able to. This is after he got a pizza. One thing I will mention about the skit you're about to see. It was filmed in widescreen, but when I was editing, I didn't know nothing about editing. So I didn't know to convert it on the editing board. So it's actually cut off on the end. So you can see Aura, the witch, and Jack Shadow looking out the window. But it was filmed in widescreen, so you got to see a lot more of it. All right, well, let me play this. I say that because I don't have the other one loaded up, and I'll try to do that. But I don't know if I'm going to mess anything up by trying it while we're running. So let me play this one first.
So obviously vampires. Speaking of garlic, I hope they put plenty of it on my pizza like I wanted.
Jack, pizza guy's on the phone.
Oh, thank you, Aura. Hello?
Is this Jack Shadow?
Yes, this is he.
Well, I'm at your castle, but I'm having a heck of a time trying to get past all these zombies. Who has zombies all over their
Well,
property?
I just assumed everyone did.
Well, I better get a good tip out of this.
Yeah, well, here's a tip. Run faster.
What?
Hey, you just make sure I get my order. Just ignore them and they'll leave you alone.
Ow! One just bit me!
Except for that one.
Ow!
And that one.
Ah!
Yeah, he's not too friendly.
Oh no, I've been bitten! Am I gonna be okay? Am I gonna be okay?
Oh, sure, you'll be fine.
Ah!
You're screwed.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
What?
Hey, before that happens, put the pizza by the front door, will you? Hello? Doesn't sound too good for him down there.
Well, that's getting really messy down there.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget my 2-liter of pop. Yeah. No, 2-liter. 2, not 1. He keeps holding one finger up, but... Oh, wait, I see what he's doing there. Okay, we better get back to the movie.
Jack, that was a really good pizza. Good call. I must give you a hand.
Oh! Thank you, Aura.
Oh, you're very welcome, Jack.
Oh, it's the pizza guys. You wanted to give me a finger? Now I've got the whole set. That happens.
All right, there we go. That's what. Wow, there are so many comments here. What movie's coming out this Saturday? Rocky says. I actually am not sure, Rocky, which ones, because the those stations. I actually get that information on Saturdays. Now I do. I used to give them. I don't know which one New York plays until Saturday night. I don't have one. I've asked them about that because I've had a viewer from New York ask me, and I said, let me get a hold of the station. I don't know. But with Stream TV, I used to give them the episodes to play in what order and what time. But now I said, I'm just a little too busy to keep up with that. So I said, if you're welcome to play them. So I don't know until I look Saturday morning. There is an on-air schedule, but I don't think it's too many days ahead. But if you go to streammedia.tv, maybe a couple days before that, you can check. Let's see. John says, question, have you ever heard of Outer Space International 74 is a 100% independent station that is home for a variety of old school movies, TV series, and is the home cinema insomnia hosted by Mr. Lobo. Maybe you can get in touch with them, and maybe we can see Jack in the streaming services. That's very possible. I've had various stations, across the country playing, and I know there are some, but I will tell you, even for me to now, Stream TV has all the files, so I don't have to send them anymore. Now it's an issue of I just started. I'm sending actually today. I just sent another one. Yesterday I sent another one to New York. That got to be such a task. Me sending all these different stations my shows. So yeah, if I just could get over a little bit more of my workload, and maybe I'll have a little bit more time to devote to that and get on some different channels, that'd be cool. I'd really like at some point, in bringing the show back, if I can relaunch the show, if and when I do that, I'd like to do it on a Roku channel. I'd like them to still be playing on Stream TV and WWON in New York. I'd still like that, but it would be neat, I think, if I had my own Roku channel as well. So there would be at least those three outlets for sure. Renee says, new Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu movie filmed immediately now. Are you saying that did they start the filming process? Did they start filming yet? It's not out now, is it? I didn't think that they started on that, but yeah, they need to start on that. I'd go see it. Stephanie says, I would love to go to Sleepy Hollow one day. Yeah, that would be neat. That'd be very cool. When was that pick, Ava says? That was you're probably talking about this one here. That was in 2015 when we actually had to we've had various sets over the years, just like the haunts. We've had to set up and tear down. And temporarily, there was a time, just like this one right here, where we were doing the show totally in front of a green screen. But yeah, that was back in 2015. We didn't have a physical set yet. We had to put one up. Let's see. Let me move on up a little bit in the comments. PBR says, "LOL, that's too funny." Patsy's laughing. I'm getting some laughy emojis there. The voice on the phone sounds very familiar. Jason says, "Yeah, is this your shadow?" Yeah, I was looking for another one where I actually do a skit where Jack is reading letters. And he's reading one from the girlfriend, and he's reading one from the boyfriend. And I've got two very different voices than Jack's. And they are, the couple are British. So I wanted to give it a kind of a Monty Python type of feel to it. Then they start bantering. The letters start bantering, and Jack's there like losing control of this situation. It's pretty funny, I think. A little biased, I know. Let's see. I love the Crypt Keeper tea, Stephanie says. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Renee says, one of the new Star Wars stories about the three very first Jedi Knight read. Sweet. Oh, really? I haven't been keeping up with the Star Wars stuff lately. I guess I've been just trying to keep the store relevant and up and running and everything. So I don't have too many. I take Sundays off just to have one day off totally from my regular job and the store and everything else. So I take Sundays and I take Tuesdays off so I can get stuff done around here and then do this show on Tuesdays. And John Wayne says, Jack Shadow's face on the table there reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes. Yeah. Here's the martini glass. That's the famous martini glass and the eye prop for the garnish. I think that's pretty cool looking. But yeah, there it is. That hat, I wore that one before, but that's not the main hat that I wear. I've had 3 of them over the years, and the one that I normally wear, I think I've had that since 2006, or maybe even 2005. But this one is a newer one. It fits me better, but I don't like it as much. And it's a fancier one. If you were able to see it up close, it actually is like a pattern on the fabric, on the material. And the mask here is, like I said, it's foam latex. That's one of the masks. That's not the one that you see. You've seen this before on the show, but I have another one that I wear as well. So, but that's it. It's a very spongy feeling latex, a foam latex, and I made it very thin because the original mask that Jack Shadow had was actually a store-bought one, and because I had no idea when I first started doing this that I was going to reprise the role of this character for so long, or repeatedly for even the next year when I started doing this, and because I didn't know the haunted house was going to be that well liked. So, but here I am, since 2006 playing this character. But let's see. Jack's. Oh, here we go. I'll put this picture back up. But yeah, there's the martini. There's the picture. But the way I actually started out playing this, Renee says, "Ooh, awesome shirt, skull, drink, and cute lady assistant." Yeah, that's Aura the Witch. That's my wife. Yeah, we both met in. Actually, we met right here. You see that picture right there? That's in 2007. That's the very first Dark Domain I had. I actually ran 2 of them this year. I ran a House of Terror and I ran a Dark Domain. Well, Jack, I had to put him in one or the other, so at the last minute I decided I'm going to put him in the Dark Domain, and so there we go. And then that's when we actually met in that haunted house that year in 2007. This October 4th is the night that we open up the Jack Shadow's House of Terror. October 4th was actually the day we met back in 2007. It was a Thursday that year, though. We were running Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we're coming up on October 4th of this year. We'll have met 17 years ago. So Jason says, Brian, you should play your skit or part in a music video you started. Oh, I'm not sure where that's at. I mean, I have it somewhere, in one of my folders, but I don't know where it's at right offhand. Patty says, chainsaw tax-free this weekend in Virginia. Chainsaws tax-free? What? Is it? Chainsaw? The actual tool is tax-free? What? All right. Good information to know. There you go. Let's see here. All right, but when I first started out, I was doing a haunted house called the House of Terror, just called the House of Terror. That was back in 2006. Wasn't called anything like Jack Shadow's House of Terror. That's the name I came up with last year. Is kind of like Jack Shadow's been around for a while. I think he deserves his name on the haunt as the title. So, but I just wanted to own and operate. I didn't want to dress up. I didn't, that my part was not going to be as a character. I thought there was too much to do. My first year doing it, you know, I would have rather have not been one of the monsters. But it was going to be this female actor who was, from March until the end of September of 2006. That was what she was going to do. That was her part. And so then I think it was like 10 days maybe before we opened up. She says, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's too much pressure, because that's a first appearance. That's the first character they came in. That was, it was built up that way. I said, I want a very, very charismatic and standout character to be the greeter. That first impression, and to lay the atmosphere down, to lay the groundwork before ushering them in, the guests in. So I did put a lot on that character, and right before she backed out and said, I can't do this. So like I was like, okay. I went out, I was like, went out and bought a theatrical, like a play quality costume. I was going up to the counter, and I actually saw these, they were called living face masks at the time. They don't make them anymore. And so I bought one of the, did I buy a couple? It doesn't matter, but I bought that, and I went and got some contact lenses. I thought that would be a cool little touch, and that's basically it. I thought, well, I wrote the speech, so it'll be easier for me to remember it than to try at this point for, to put this on somebody else. So that's how that started. Let's see. Ryan Reynolds versus Hugh Jackman, Renee says. Yeah, they're out there as Deadpool and Wolverine, aren't they? John Wayne says, half an hour has already passed. We have to make a 2 or 3 hour one day. Yes. I do wonder if I am able to pull up that video of Jack ordering the pizza like you requested. So I will try it. And here's the thing. If we get disconnected, and I hope that doesn't happen, oh, what a mess this could be. Well, let me tell you what. Just to be safe, let me do it later on in the show when there's about 10 minutes left. And then I will try it, because I really don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm able to pull that up while we're streaming. We might be able to, but I don't know. So, well, what happened was I had an idea of how I wanted this character to be, and I knew this because I went to another haunted house. I was taking notes. I mean, the year prior, I'd taken all kinds of notes, like how many people were in line, what time did we get there, and we went to a variety of them on weekdays, on weekends, different times. How many people are ahead of us when we get to we're ready to go in? How many people are behind us? How long did it take us to get through the line? How many rooms did they have? So I'm counting all this stuff in my head as I'm walking through these haunts, studying this stuff. And I did a ton of research on this stuff before I opened my own. And one of the things that really stood out, we went to one, and there was a young, looked like a teenage kid, just had like a flannel shirt, blue jeans on, and holding his drink, like a big gulp from Sheets or something, and he's going on like he was so disinterested in what was taking place, like he'd rather be anywhere else but there. And I thought, I get that he's a young kid, his heart's not in it at all, but that showed. And I thought, well, that's the one thing I will make sure I don't do. When you have that greeter, no different than hosting a show or the Crypt Keeper in the EC Comics, the narrator, the storyteller. I wanted Jack to be the storyteller, the gatekeeper, whoever this gatekeeper was. It took a little bit of time to develop. I didn't even have a name for him at first. So I started watching different characters. I knew that because I couldn't move my face, you couldn't see my facial expressions. I had to compensate that with moving my hands a lot. And I was a hand talker anyways, naturally. So that part that part was pretty easy. And I started watching different characters who I kind of wanted to take a little bit from each. One was Guy Fawkes from V. Um, the other was I just took a little bit, like from Skeletor, Guy Fawkes, and uh, even Darth Vader in some ways with the movements. And I wanted to give him a kind of a Shakespearean flair, when he was talking. I put all this stuff together. I put the speech together, and then I came up with the character. It wasn't at first. It took a few times, but then the character started to grow, to evolve into something. And so that's how that happened. Chillerites, that's right, Patty. I was going to mention that too, Patty. Patty had mentioned, because last week, John Y. had asked about, or had mentioned, he didn't ask about it, he was just mentioning, he said something about his wife had called him, what was the name? I forget the nickname now. I knew it. I knew it. But now my mind just went blank here. Dementios, I think. But Patty said that there was actually another show where that was something being used. Now, if we want to make a nickname for us, the Chillerites, to Jack, you're always going to be as Chiller Maniacs, but you never know. He could maybe be swayed to, call you guys the Chillerites. Was it Guy Fawkes and B everyone? Yes, that was. In the reason I picked him is because he had that dramatic flair. He had that dramatic flair, but also the one thing that stood out there that was very similar with Jack Shadow, the blank face. I had no way of communicating my emotions through reading anything on my face because it was hidden behind the mask, like the Guy Fawkes type of situation. So that way, when Jack's speaking, there's an extra role, there's a big, grand, dramatic flair when he's speaking. And because he is that storyteller, he's telling everybody. He's like the magician, the carnival barker. He's telling them, basically everything you're about to see is real. This is, and especially in the first 2 years, the 2006 and 2007 haunts, it was very creepy about it. It unnerved. It unnerved people. I remember he turned around and looked at a lady, and I watched her right there. The way he just turned around, he didn't even say anything to her. Didn't lunge toward her. Didn't make any quick gestures or nothing like that. Just turned and locked her eyes, and she wet her pants right there. She just did. It's like, oh my gosh! It was interesting how that character was developing, and becoming quite popular with the people in the area, and I just I had a lot of fun with it. I took that responsibility seriously though, because I was thinking I am going to get these people so excited about going in there, but fearful. I remember saying one of the speeches. It was in the 2007 haunted house, The Dark Domain, and I remember there was these three guys, early 20s, I'm guessing, and they're just standing there, just looking at me, and I was, doing my bit, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you kind of feel silly sometimes because when you're thinking, oh, this is not landing, this is not hitting its target, They are bored as can be, and I totally misread that particular situation, because when I was done, the one says, "Sir, I know you're doing your thing, and you know, not expecting you to break character, but we just came from." He said the name of the haunt, and then he says it was in Grove City. He says we just came from that one, and he says, and I will tell you, just what we saw here, this is already so much better than the haunt we just came from. Just this little presentation. You know, and Jack said, "Oh, thank you," you know, and he ushers them in. And that made me feel good, because I was like, okay, that presentation, in my opinion, I take that very seriously, because I treat it as much like theater as I can, because I am like, these people bought a ticket, they're going to get a show. And that's why I always put Jack Shadow on that poster, because that character is very important to me when it comes to that haunted house. And let me see where I'm at with these comments here. Jack Shadow and Skeletor must be related, John says. Yeah. I don't remember like specifically picking a Skeletor, but I see a quality there that's similar. I think it was actually a bit of Doctor Doom. Yeah, that was it. Not Skeletor, Doctor Doom. Although the similarity with Skeletor can't be ignored, but it was Doctor Doom. There was more of a royal feeling, because that character had started out as this gatekeeper kind of character. To in this particular dimension, he was the Lord of Halloween, Sam Hain, the King of Halloween. You know, he had elevated in status a bit, because I didn't know that character was going to become as popular as he had. Now this is where it comes a little strange, because somebody had approached me because they knew I did the haunted houses, and it was one of the folks that worked on the haunted houses with me, one of the actors, and he wanted to do a hosted horror show. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I've thought about that for a long time myself. Again, not thinking that I was going to be participating on that side of the camera, being the actor. There was going to be a different host for the show. Well, when I presented the idea to, it was called Venango Video at the time, their board met, and they were going over it, and I got a phone call, and they said, "Hey, this is not a condition on whether we're playing the show, but we are curious. What about Jack Shadow being the host?" And I said, well, let me get back to you on that. Because at that time, man, oh man, putting all that stuff on was a pain. It was a pain. You can, every time you put that mask on, I was gluing it to my face. I didn't have another method of doing that. That's why on some of those you can see I have a hood on around it, and then I was filling in the rest with makeup. But now it's actually the ones that and even in the Chiller Night theaters from Stream TV, at first you can see this is glued on. You can see my skin back here. You can even see my wrists. Now the face mask is attached to a bodysuit, so you can't see the wrists. You can't see the face. You know, that totally took care of that. So it makes it a lot better to put all that stuff on, and a lot faster. I like Chiller Maniacs. John Wayne says. Renee says, remember the 5th of November. Natalie Portman, Queen Amidala Padme. Yes. Dementos, Patty says. Dementos, that's it. Patty says, I think Defoe said he had a hard time with that character in V. Yeah. The guy who played Guy Fawkes, the guy from The Matrix, maybe he did. I don't know. I don't know. Are you talking about Willem Dafoe for that character? Yeah, I don't remember what that guy, the actor's name is who played that character. But I recognize he played Red Skull in Captain America. He played Mr. Smith in The Matrix. Wasn't that the guy? I think pretty sure that was who played him, and he played in the remake of The Wolfman. So Renee says Daredevil, DD, Doctor Doom. Yes. Renee says, "Whoa, wow! Thank you for the awesome live horror sci-fi show. You are very welcome." Oh, now in a couple minutes I will. Now we gotta, okay. There's the options: Chiller Maniacs, Chillerites, and this Dementos. So if you guys want to think about it, I told Patty last week I'll throw that out there tonight, and then next week we can vote on something. If you guys want a name for yourselves, and then you never know when Jack Shadow, if and when he does come back, you never know. Maybe he can. Maybe he'll refer to you guys as that. So. John Wayne says, "What topic should we choose for next week?" I don't know. I was thinking it would be kind of cool. You guys decide. But I tell you what, I wouldn't mind at some point doing, having for topics even shows like or the Planet of the Apes as a theme, or the Night Stalker, or the Night Gallery or something like that. I don't know. I think those would be fun. I'm not. I'd like to do those at some point. I'm not saying that has to be next week. So you guys think of next week's. Stephanie says Willem Dafoe was the Green Goblin. The Red Skull was played by Hugo Weaving. That's it, Hugo Weaving, and he played Guy Fawkes in V, I believe. I think so. Sometimes I think I know things. Sometimes I don't. Let's see. I'll look this up real quick. Hugo Weaving movies. Was he in? Yeah. Yep. He played Guy Fawkes in V for Vendetta. But that was one of the inspirations, and more the ego, the brash ego of Doctor Doom. That was the royalty, because at that, like I said, I wanted him to be the in charge guy. I later kind of, promoted him to the king of Halloween land, the Dark Domain, in his dimension, in this dimension, not, But Night Gallery rocks, Renee says. You be on next Tuesday? Yes, Rocky78. We are on every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, unless something comes up where I can't make it. But that is rare. Maybe a couple times throughout the year that happens. But I do post it on YouTube or Facebook. So if you're watching on YouTube, maybe hit the like and subscribe and notifications so that you do get notified. At least that's the way it's supposed to work. Sometimes it doesn't, from what some of you tell me sometimes. Rocky says, I just watched The Mummy. The Mummy's Hand, great classic. The Mummy's Hand. Tom Tyler is the Mummy. The Mummy's Hand. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. Tom Tyler was, kind of a good, physically imposing character for that mummy. And what I liked about that movie was they colored in the eyes, of the mummy. I just, to me, when I watch it, that just gave it such a neat, creepy look to it. And there was something eerie about it. Let's see. Yo, Peep. Lasercorn says, hey, Laser, thanks for joining us. Just saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Go see it. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that's a really good one. Stephanie says, take care, y'all. Also, How about the Twilight Zone next week? We can do Twilight Zone next week. We can do. John Wayne says, how about Tales from the Crypt? Matching t-shirt. Oh, Tales from the Crypt. That'd be a cool one, too, because then we could talk about the comics. We'll do, because Stephanie brought up the Twilight Zone, we can do the Twilight Zone next week. And then remind me to do Tales from the Crypt after that. We can talk also about the EC Comics as well as the show. So, Twilight Zone and then Tales from the Crypt. Already got a scoot later, Laser says. Whew. All right, thanks for joining us, Laser. Rocky says, thank you, 8 p.m. is good. I'm not on Facebook, but I did subscribe. Awesome, thank you, Rocky. We'll be looking forward to having you join us next week. Chiller Night Theater Live, Renee says, you never know. If it comes back, I'd like to have live episodes. John said, once again, for your entertainment, you have been tuned. Hey, let me say this right now. I will try to pull up that skit, but I will do it at the very end of the show. Huh? How about that? So it'll be extended for maybe a couple minutes as I try to pull up. That way, if we get disconnected, oh well, see you next week. Let me try that. Okay, John says, once again, for your entertainment, you have been tuned to Chiller Night Live with Bryan Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you to go to the theater and watch a movie the way it's meant to be seen. Haha, I like that. Until next week, stay chilled and keep thrilled. Thank you, Crozak the Grand. D says, yes, Tales from the Crypt. All right, we'll do that 2 weeks. Next week it'll be Twilight Zone and then Tales from the Crypt. I like that. I like that. All right. Jason says, another amazing show, Brian. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Renee says, Mandela effects. Boy, yeah. Oh, for a topic? Yeah, that would be neat. Okay, remind me, because I might not remember 3 weeks from now. So, the Outer Limits, Rocky says, that's it. All right, there's definitely a good one. Renee says, Crunchy Fist Taco Tuesday. All right. Taco Tuesday. John Wayne says, see you all next week. Stay healthy and get well soon for Aura's hand. All right, yes. I will let her know. Not sure if she's still on there. I don't think she is. New Louis Elysio's UFO book. Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay. I know you're totally into the UFO thing, which is a very, very interesting topic. Especially if you had the experience that you had, obviously. Let's see. Thank you. Love watching your show. Rocky says, thank you. Love thank you. I appreciate it. PBR says, Jack Shadow for president. All right. Where does he sign up? Okay. Well, I'm going to end. I'm going to conclude, and then stay tuned. I'm going to pull up that skit if I can. But in case I don't, thank you for joining me once again and each other for Chiller Night Live. Have a good night. Have a good Chiller Night. Now, this is where I normally cut this off, so now I'm going to attempt to pull up that skit. If it doesn't work, I'll see you next week. If it does, enjoy the skit. Here we go. And someone's calling. All right. You should be able to still hear me. So what I'm doing is probably all, maybe it's all black. No items in your search. Come on. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me do it. Let me try it again. Ah, okay, something did come up here. This actually might work, folks. Hang in there if you're still watching, if you're still with me. Jack orders a pizza. Here we go. Here's one of them. I think he's done this a couple times, so let's try this one.
Ben and Barbara are the old farmhouse. Zombies begin to surround the home as the night begins.
All right, I'm being informed that there's no audio. So let me see if I can get something figured out, and I'll put it on for next week. Apparently, it's not going to work with me pulling it up into the queue as I'm streaming live. So we gave it a shot. All right, and with that, have a good night. Have a good chiller night. We'll see you next week. We'll do it again, folks. See ya.